Yo gamers, what's clicking? This is Raf from eSportsGateway and welcome to episode number 1 of the Real Gaming Talk. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I think it's only fair that we choose the first topic, and after that we will let you guys take the wheel. So I think a natural first topic for us to discuss today is why you should play video games and what are the benefits of playing video games. We had a discussion previously and we jotted down 6 reasons that resonated with us and that we think are true based on our experience. Of course, there are plenty more out there, and we try to stay away from the commercial ones like you develop hand-eye coordination and pretty obvious ones, and the obvious ones that we will talk about are ones that resonated with us and that have a story behind it. So here are 6 reasons why you should play video games. Number 1, I think the first thing is that you build and you maintain friendships. Yeah. Mind blown, huh? Well, I think contrary to popular belief, there's this whole stigma around video games that you become antisocial and you lose your friends and you spend all day indoors playing video games. I think that is not true. You actually build and maintain friendships, and it worked for us at eSportsGateway and for me and for my childhood friends. And here's why I say build and maintain. So there are 2 parts of it. So the build part. When you play video games together, you interact, right? You laugh together, so you make bonding moments. You fight and you argue over things, so you build conflict resolution. You discuss, you debate, you strategize how you play your games, so you learn teamwork and many other things. And all these are what make strong and healthy friendships in real life. And you can achieve this if you're willing to learn from your in-game experiences. And here is our story, really. I'm very, very close friends with 3 guys that I have known since I was 4 years old. So that's a long time ago. And we have had our childhood based on, I don't know, playing outside and playing video games together. When we grew up, when we graduated high school, we all dispersed throughout the world. I traveled across 4 to 5 countries in Europe. 1 guy stayed back home. 1 guy moved to London. 1 guy moved to New York. So there was no possibility for us to meet that often. And when you don't see a person, you get caught up in your daily routine and the things that you need to take care about. And over time, that friendship decays, right? And I've seen many friendships decay because people went apart, and that's just a natural course of life. But here's the deal though. No matter where we were, no matter what week we had, we knew that, for example, usually Sunday night, when you just stay home and you want to chill and you want to have a glass of wine, that was gaming time. That for us was gaming time. So we logged on and we saw each other on Discord or Skype or TeamSpeak or whatever we used, and we just messaged each other, dude, are you up for a game? Yeah, sure. And then we connected and we started talking. How was your week? What happened? How's your mom? How's your wife? How's your girlfriend? How's your dog? What happened at work? Well, you know, this and that happened. Okay, let's talk about it. And you touch the base. Every once in a while you touch the base, even though if there was a month when we didn't speak or that I didn't speak to any of my friends, eventually they found me there and we started talking again. So gaming for us was a way to constantly keep in touch over the years, and this went on for 11 years. 11 years. And now they are still my best friends, or some of my best friends, because I got many friends, sorry. And we are still the closest people in the world. They are like my brothers. And I'm not saying that gaming was the sole reason why we had this friendship. Of course, this needs to be supplemented by real life experiences and all that stuff. I fully acknowledge that. But gaming was one of the catalysts that kept our friendship together as strong as it was over the years, and all of them can confirm that. And actually one of them is one of my associates in building eSportsGateway. So there you go. And that's what I said, build and maintain friendships through gaming. Take full advantage of the fact that you are in a medium that connects people in a very interactive way, and use that every single time to build and maintain your friendships, your network, and expand that consciously. It is a priceless gift, and people take it for granted. Number 2, perfecting your language skills. Oh dear, oh jolly good fella. Probably this one is not so innovative, and you might have been expecting this, but here's how it's actually reflected in our life. I've been fluent in English ever since I was a little kid, like 6 years old or something like that. And it was because of watching cartoons in English and playing video games in English. I passed many exams and got high-end English certificates because of the essays I wrote with the vocabulary and the grammar that I learned from playing video games. And also it made me stand out because it was a really cool thing. I was talking about prismatic warp pins and all sorts of, God knows, transformation, gadgets, storyline, quests, and mystic spells, and teachers were like, what is this kid talking about? I don't know what he's saying, but it's cool. I knew all types of weapons and spells from playing Diablo, for example, like claymore and breastplate and chainmails and magic boots and shoulders. And when my dad heard me at a certain point, he was like, what are you saying, my son? And then when my mom heard these things, she was like, y'all need Jesus. And the awesome thing is, so that applied for me for English, and English is not my native language. I got into university because my level of English. I made many friends because of the level of English I knew early on in my life. Of course, you can learn that later on in school, but it's an amazing supplement for your language skills. And the awesome thing is now that you can set your games in several languages, right? It's not just English. You can learn Spanish, French, whatever version, whatever language the games, the game that you're choosing offers you. And you can learn even more languages, or you can choose the language that you want to perfect. I think it's an awesome opportunity, but just people don't realize that, and people don't take full advantage of this amazing thing. It's basically free English lessons while doing quests, beating your opponents, killing monsters, and getting super cool items. I mean, how much more interactive do you want your language lessons to be, right? Number 3. Spider Pig does whatever Spider Pig does. Video games build confidence. Hold on to your pants for this one. So essentially every game is based on you achieving certain things in that game, right? And things that you need to work for. A victory in an online skirmish, getting some magic items that you want, completing a quest, building a castle in Minecraft, whatever. You achieve these things, and if you pay attention to this and you have the right mindset, it eventually ends up to building your confidence. It's the same thing as in real life, right? You send a great email, you make a great presentation, you get good grades, the girl that you asked out said yes, you punch that asshole in the face because he deserves it. Just like achievements in real life make you more confident, so can video games. The only thing here is that you need to have the right mindset for this. The trick is you need to firstly acknowledge the fact that you had an achievement, however small it is. Second, you need to learn to express gratitude for every little thing that you achieve. Let's say you're playing a game of League of Legends online. It was a tough game and you win, right? Learn to take a moment after that and just express gratitude for the victory that you got. Sounds corny. It can be corny. But the trick is that you're programming your subconscious that every time you spend time and do a little activity and the outcome is a good one, you program your subconscious to make you more confident and more confident and more confident. Not cocky, but sure of yourself, right? And it makes you feel good. And then finally, the third thing is you need to learn to celebrate it, right? You have a cool game, talk about it with your friends, or you manage to achieve something. Whisper a friend, call someone, take a photo, post it on 9gag. Just do something to celebrate, to make you feel good. By all means, put on some music, dance around naked in your room. I don't care. Celebrate, right? Acknowledge, be grateful, and celebrate. And you can take this mindset that you develop by playing video games and apply it in real life as well. It's exactly what Tony Robbins and Gary Vee teach all the bloody time. And if you don't know who these two people are, go online right now and check them out. You will thank me later. They will change your life. Number 4. This is actually the Asian picture pose. Number 4. It's connected to the previous point. You set a mindset for life. You learn how to celebrate winning and you learn how to handle losing, which is absolutely critical in applying it to your daily life as well. Think about it. Nobody likes that cocky asshole that types GG easy after they beat you, or the guy that starts cursing at you once you beat them. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. These are exactly the people that are not extracting the real value of video gaming, and that are probably, but not probably, but for sure, as frustrated in real life as they come across in the game. So let's talk about both things here. One, we talked about winning, right? How should you tackle winning? So when you win, be humble and polite. Learn to express gratitude for your victory, just as I've said earlier, and celebrate it. Do not shove it in the other person's face, because then it loses value. Neither disregard it. I was guilty of this for so long. Whenever I won a game online, for instance, I used to have this short 10 seconds of, I won. And then I clicked next game and I started again. And it's just as if the previous victory did not happen, which is wrong. So be humble, express gratitude, and celebrate. Then the other part, losing, just as important as winning. I truly think here you need to cultivate the discipline and patience to analyze your mistakes and learn from them. Then devise a plan or strategy to correct them, then execute, right? Do not act like a pathetic loser and curse at the other person and throw a tantrum. It's pathetic. Cultivate the discipline and then the strategy and the call to action to execute on the loss that you just had. When you lose, it's an opportunity to learn even better than it is when you win. Have you ever watched a recording of yourself, be it video or be it audio, when talking or presenting? It's super cringe. Same goes for watching a gameplay footage of yourself. You need the courage to look at yourself and critically assess yourself to start fixing what needs to be fixed. This is exactly how you lose like a winner. If you get pissed off and you throw a tantrum and you uninstall the game and whatever, you lost for good. This is exactly what taught me patience and humbleness, to constantly work on myself. It's a shit job and it's super difficult, but you have to do it if you want to extract the maximum value out of the activity that you're doing, right? And it proved valuable so many times in real life. And it's exactly how life is, right? You got two choices. You act like a pro or you cry like a bitch. There is no in between. Full disclaimer here, I actually am a little bit of a salt mine when it comes to losing in video games, because I hate losing. And I'm also very harsh with myself. And I support being salty to some degree, not towards your opponent, but like letting out the steam and expressing yourself. And also I support a little bit of trash talk in gaming and in esports, because at the end of the day, it is a sport and it's part of the culture and it's part of the fun. And I think it's exactly what makes it interesting. Don't go overboard, but a little bit of salt, I think, adds some spices. It's actually a spice. It adds some spices to gaming and it makes it more fun. Number 5. Learn effective decision making, especially under pressure. I cannot emphasize how important this part is right now, and how valuable this skill is in game and in real life. And you develop it organically. That's a beautiful part. You develop it organically by playing video games from a young age. Most competitive online games actually require players to make effective and very quick decisions, especially when they're under extreme pressure. So you are forced to devise a simple logic that results in the highest percentage of success. And that is pivotal for life in general. Sure, sometimes it doesn't work and you make the wrong call and it ends up bad. Boo-hoo-hoo, big deal. Lesson learned. The important thing is that you constantly keep cultivating this skill and it gets better and better and better and better. When you grow up and when you get a job, this will be pivotal in your success, no matter what you do and where you work, in meetings, in projects, in dealing with customers and negotiations, etc. I cannot say how many times I applied video game logic in my job and it saved my work. and I worked in pretty intense corporate environments, and this was a absolute must-have all the time. And lastly, one of my absolute favorites, number 6, rock on. You develop social skills. Yeah. Here's the logic. What are you saying, man? Nothing beats chilling out with your friends in real life and doing cool stuff and being out for real. Yeah, that's true. I'm not saying that. If you can do that, stop this video right now and just go out and have fun. But hey man, studies show that playing video games excessively can lead to depression and becoming antisocial. There's science behind it, man. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it does lead to depression and anxiety, but so does staying all day indoors, reading books, playing with your cat, and watching Netflix. It's the same thing. As with all things in life, I think you need balance. And especially in the case of video games, I don't think people are focusing on the benefits that they can reap from that. Because you mean to tell me that you are playing a game with 1 million people at the same time, and you are one click away from those people and from connection with those people, then you're becoming antisocial or you don't improve your social skills? Then I think the problem is with you, unfortunately, and there is stuff that you need to fix in your garden first before blaming it on video games. Story time. How I used video games to improve my social skills. Online, nobody knows you. And that's the beautiful part of it. It is literally the safest place that you can practice your social skills and try out new things about your personality and experiment, and most important, get feedback from that without any backlash, without any real backlash. For example, I personally found it extremely useless to do small talk. I couldn't stand it, and I still don't like it now, but I realized the importance of doing that. So I decided, why not use the video game opportunity to try and develop this skill? And I started very small with, I don't know, random questions like, hey, how are you? Where are you from? Do you have a dog? What color are your socks? How's your mom doing? Do you know a joke? Do you know the joke with the penguin marrying your mother? Whatever the hell came to mind. And it felt super uncomfortable at first, but then the more you do it, just like with any skill, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I tested out what jokes worked and what didn't, what things I could say that are acceptable and what not, what bits of me got a positive reaction and what bits didn't. Then I started applying all these things in real life, and guess what? What? It was the same damn thing, and everything just got easier. Get to the point where you can hold conversations for hours with strangers and you never run out of things to say, and it's just great. I'm not saying you can't learn this doing something else or in real life, but if you're spending hours of gaming anyway, use this to the maximum potential that it offers. Use it to its maximum potential. So guys, this is episode 1 of the Real Gaming Talk. I spoke for a very long time. I just want to point out the fact that all these things that I listed here, that we listed here actually, you can develop these skills, or you can benefit from all these things by doing so many things in life. But the general point is that if you're spending hours of time from your life gaming every single day, why not maximize its potential and take full advantage of what this hobby of yours has to offer? I think there are many gifts that are misunderstood, still misunderstood even now in 2020, and there's a lot of stigma around playing video games and many people trying to diminish this activity. But I think the main issue is that people are not looking at it from the right perspective, and when you are, as a gamer, are playing, I think you just need to be conscious and you need to focus on the right things and let the activity work for you. It's just like therapy. So just as I promised, you have the power to dictate what you want us to talk about next and what topic you want us to research next. And here are the options, and here's how we are going to play it. If this episode gets more likes, we will talk about the optimum nutrition for gamers, what things you need to constantly eat in order for you to improve your focus and game better. If it gets more comments, we will talk about physical exercises and warm-up that you need to do before you game in order for you to improve your performance again. And if it gets more shares, we will do part 2 of why you should play video games, and we're going to do a special giveaway with merch from our eSportsGateway shop, which is cool apparel for gaming, such as this t-shirt or gaming mugs, all sorts of funky stuff. I'll leave you a link so you can check it out. Until next time, guys, see you on the other side of your click. Peace. Yo gamers, what's clicking? This is Raf from eSportsGateway and welcome to episode number 1 of the Real Gaming Talk. Like I mentioned in the intro video, since there's a fucking chopper coming. There is a fucking chopper coming. You hear it? I think this microphone blocks it out, but the other mic from the camera is not. There's a chopper. And it's just with the whole sound, and my desk is shaking.